Hey everybody, while we're waiting for her to warm up a little bit, this is the Cobra 148 GTL. This is just a standard model. It's not the GTL Classic, at least I mean it doesn't say it's the GTL Classic. Again, newer model. Newer model means, one, it was made in China, so it loses some points there, I'm sorry. Secondly, since I want to say once they started producing these in China, they stopped using the 10-pin, 9 or 10-pin power voltage regulator and went to the 3-pin 7809 voltage regulator. And also there were some actually the circuit board is much different. There's a lot of components that have been added and some components that were removed. One of the components that was added that's not in the older schematics happened to be the component that was not working for her, causing the receive to go completely out. So bad that not even the green diode there, it wouldn't even light up. Meter wouldn't move, nothing. So it took me a while to oscillate it, but finally got it. It was TR, it was transistor 44, and which was the 8550, I believe, if I remember right. This is actually my second video. My first one, you couldn't hear anything. I don't know why. I was putting the video on with my tablet because I wasn't sure my little camera here had any juice left in her. So okay, so other than replacing the transistor to get the receive back, I unlocked the clarifier. So she actually, whenever you transmit, it will, the clarifier will follow your transmit, also follow you on transmit. She slides, let's see, it was just a hair under 20 clicks up and 25 clicks down, and I'll show you that in a minute. Did the super receive mod on her, so it gave her some better ears, and I will demonstrate that as well. I'm sorry, but the transmit is just at par. I mean, there's nothing great about the transmit power. You want to put her on a linear amp, which a lot of people do these days. That's why I really don't bother with the transmit too much, because a lot of people will put a amplifier on it, and it does well on an amplifier as well. I was putting her on the Cobra XL 350 earlier, so she was actually working pretty good. Now I'll turn her off. Actually, I don't want to mess with anything with that. So she is, for an 05 model, she does have a lot of scuffs. The collar itself looks pretty good with the exception of a few scratches. The cases, which are designed for torture, there is a good scuff here. Other than that, not too bad. Now the bottom has a hole drilled here. Not sure what it was for. Probably either used for the way they had mounted it, or they put a frequency counter on here, but you kind of see an outline of a scratch outline here, so it was probably having something to do with the way they mounted it. The bracket that it's going to come with does have a bend. I'll actually try to beat that out with a hammer, make it a little bit straighter, but it does come with the heavy-duty mount bracket. The microphone I'm actually waiting on. It's just going to be a standard 4-pin Superstar or Workman. These actually, I get good reports whenever I use these. I just can't use this one because it is the 5-pin TRCs, so I can't use her. What I'm going to demonstrate with is my Galaxy base station mic that I broke. Cracked it up here too. I think I just dropped it on that one. I can't remember how I broke the mount bracket. And I will throw a mount bracket in on this one. The standard mount bracket. I should have ordered some more while I was ordering the microphone, but I'm thinking about it. I will just throw this in the bag. You can decide where you want it. Some people put them on the side, a little sidekick here, but it hasn't been done on this one. You can see the holes here haven't been touched, so I won't touch them. I'll just throw it in the bag. I'll let you do it. So let's see, we covered I did the receive repair, I did the receive upgrade, I unlocked the clarifier. As you can see, there's an LED for the meter. It's also a brand new meter. I think the bulb was out. Normally if the bulb is out, I just replace the whole meter. I have a few of them lying around. I do not have the extra channel mod done for a couple reasons. I kind of like to stay off the FCC radar. Since I'm selling, I'm trying to remain as professional as possible. The second reason, and it's probably actually the main reason, who cares about professionalism these days anyway, but the main reason is actually because for myself, I will mount my CB just about anywhere in the truck. Sometimes I slide them in the dash so I wouldn't be able to access the back when people put the toggle switches in the back. I don't like toggle switches on the side. It makes it look kind of ugly, and I use, a lot of people don't, but I use most of these functions up here. I mean, of course I'm going to use the noise blanker when I'm on AM, and I'll turn it off whenever I'm on sideband. CBPA, I actually do have a PA speaker installed in my truck so I can yell at those ignorant Jersey drivers out there. And of course I mess with my SRF Cal SWR switch whenever I want to make sure my SWR is okay, and obviously your mode switch on what you want to transmit on, whether it be sideband or AM. The tone I will mess with, especially since I have the receive upgrade installed on this radio. Your tone will actually, if you change your tone, lower your tone, you can actually pick out better weaker signals out there. Your bright knob I also tinker with. Actually I prefer it on low. I mean, really, why do you need it all the way up? If you should be able to know your switches and what channel you're on. I mean, are you a channel surfer that extreme when you're driving? Probably not. This did have talkback, but it was the talkback that was just jumped with a resistor. I don't like the resistors because of depending on how close you are to your speaker. If you have an external speaker, is it up next to your head for those truck drivers out there? So I like a variable volume talkback, but whenever I took her apart, these were so crowded I had no idea where to put it. Normally people will put it, myself I will put it on the RF gain knob. I'll just open or close up the RF gain to where it's full open. That doesn't even make any sense, does it? I wire the RF gain so it is at max. A lot of people don't mess with their RF gain. If anything, they will mess with their volume if they don't want to hear it. But because of how packed everything was, and also it is a newer style side PCB board for it, I didn't want to mess with it. I just left it alone. So no talkback on here, but that's okay. You should know what you sound like. And since I'm shipping it with a standard non-power, non-noise canceling microphone, you really don't need to hear yourself. You pretty much sound exactly on the radio waves as you do as you're speaking. So there it is. So okay, let's do a demonstration. A demonstration of the clarifier. I will leave it on AM because the way my CB Service Master actually took a dump on me. When I wire the RF signal generator to her, and then from her to the radio, it's supposed to send whatever signal is coming from here through here to my radio, and it's not doing that. I don't know why. It might be, I think it might have something to do with my amp over there. I think the amp screwed something up, so I'll have to get in there and fix it. But because of this, I can't do all of the functions at once like I used to. If you've seen my other videos, I have to kind of play around with my little 3-speed switch there. So I'm going to go ahead and set this up to the service master. You see it's black coax, black coax. It is wrapped around the back. It's a long coax. The way this is set up is that the frequency will not display until I key the mic, which is exactly what we want for the demonstration of a clarifier unlock. So we are on channel 19. My voice lock is midway. Our clarifier 27-185-50. Bump that. I'm just gonna barely bump it. See, we're on 50, 51. I'm just gonna barely turn that. See if I can't get that to slow down. Still not doing it. Barely turn it a little bit more. There. It's a little flicker, but hey, you know what? That's actually pretty good, considering it's just a one switch. There is a mod out there for a fine and coarse, but I didn't have a fine and coarse knob available, and I had just finished the heartache of finding the clarifier method for this particular style radio, because it's a Chinese version and it's a different power regulator. I couldn't find a schematic, and finally I found a schematic someone had sent me, along with a recommendation of how they did it. I didn't like the way they had done it because the slide was erratic. I mean, it was to the extreme to where you would jump over to the next channel. I didn't like that. So I read the schematic for a while, found a better way of doing it. It was actually using the 9 volts from the power regulator in 2 separate locations. That was able to give me the constant 9 volts during transmit the entire time. So it actually made the clarifier unlock more stable. So okay, so there's the transmit. Like I said, it's set at mid-scale there. We have 5 watts. And we'll do PEP here. Hello. So it's about 12 watts on max PEP. So I mean, you'll still be heard. And like I said, you can throw a linear in there and it'll sound even better if that's what you're really going for. In my opinion, just get a good antenna, you should be fine. Alright, so now we're going to switch it over to the signal generator, and we're going to demonstrate the receive on this little girl. Okay, we'll even put the noise blinker on. We will turn her all the way up. I did have the external speaker hooked up earlier to it whenever I thought I was going to demonstrate this, but because she was way over here, I decided not to. So let's go ahead and turn her all the way up. I'm going to turn it back down while I talk, and then I'll turn it back up. So we'll put 30% modulation on here, 30%, and then we'll go over to the microvolt output scale. Here's your microphones. It is at 1. See here? No, I'm not tricking you. It is all the way down. And the reason why I'm going through all this is because my first video, when I did it, I was amazed at how sensitive she really was. Because whenever I was doing the mod, you know, you turn it off, you solder all your parts in, and then you turn it back on, and then you ops check what you had done. And well, I didn't allow it to warm up as much. Once I realized that if you wait and let it warm up, the receive is magnified extremely. So that's why I've been talking about a lot of nonsense, kind of killing time. We're already up to 15 minutes almost. So now I'm going to turn the volume up, and after I do that, I'm going to increase the output and allow you to hear exactly what I'm talking about. Okay, you ready? Okay, with her, where I just had it, you're actually supposed to get that past the 0.2 microvolts. So I was actually really happy at the way all this worked out as far as the receive came and all that stuff. Yeah, I did include some filters in here to help weed out some of the extra ignition noise and all that that you still kind of hear whenever you have your volume turned up. You're really trying to pull out that signal, but that's for people who are going to use it in their vehicle. Because it has sideband and because it's so sensitive, someone might end up using this as a base station, and that's just fine as long as you have a power converter. Whatever floats your boat, man or lady. So okay, that's it. Oh, what I did forget in my, I'm gonna go ahead and kill this now that I'm done with the demonstration. I saw this after I bought it. It was not included in the description, and I was pretty ticked off about it. I'm gonna go ahead and unscrew this microphone. For whatever reason, this microphone jack is really deep in the face pit, and I can't pause my camera. I can only stop it, so I'm sorry if some of this is a little tedious. Okay, you can see here everything's flush, 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 and look at this huge gap right in here. Sorry, I can't see very well on. See, it kind of actually dips down. Someone had dropped this, and it could have been done in shipping, but whenever I looked at the box, there was absolutely no indication of scratches or dents or indentations or anything like that. So they really kind of screwed me over on that. I mean, it was a lot more pronounced earlier. I'd actually straightened a lot of it out. It does not affect the quality of the radio as far as performance. It's just and it's in the back, you don't see it. So, but I wanted to put that on there. I don't want to blindside anybody, especially if someone's looking for, like, I mean, if you're looking for looks, you're probably not going to buy this anyway because of there are some minor scuffs and stuff. Now, a lot of that's fingerprints, and I posted some good pictures. So if you need to see the, oops, excuse me, there's another one. Any of the pictures, they're on there. But yeah, that made me mad, especially when I was getting a receive problem. I thought it was something to do with the antenna jack, but it wasn't. In fact, that transistor, if this is the back, that transistor is right about here up in the front. It just went out, it shorted. But yeah, nothing is damaged in this area. It's just this bracket here is bent. That is it. So there you go, and I'll try to show the model number. I'll have a very good camera here. I'm trying. Looks like 1366, those last numbers. So the pictures kind of help justify that this is the radio I'm selling, and once you receive it, you will receive model 1366. And like I said, it will come with a different microphone. It will come with the Workman standard generic 4-pin microphone. But hooking them up to my microphone tester there, they sound great. I mean, they're nothing special, but they are clear. Okay, there she is. I hope you enjoy her. I really had a lot of fun working with her and playing with her a little bit. She's a good radio. At least she is now. I'm really kind of stoked about that receive sensitivity. I mean, that is pretty cool. If you watch some of my other videos, it's not none of the other ones are near as loud, especially at that low of a setting. So, alright, well, that's her Cobra 148 GTL 2005 model, and this is 193 New Jersey 73s.